Okay, first on say all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashim Shai Bashim Kadash. The one to always pass the teacher and live something I learned the truth, not say Shalom to the hope of elect of Israel. And I'm going to cern this on the topic of how nobody is above correction. And this is inspired from seeing I forgot where the brothers were, but they're doing a live stream right now. But one of the things that one of the older brothers mentioned was how you have the Lord is pretty much going to stop all the Jake naysayers that refuse to receive correction from the true men of the Lord, even though the things that are actually in the Bible, are reflected of the words that are coming out of the prophet's mouths. And something that came to mind is how, the brother mentioned pride, because you have a lot of Israelite camps, a lot of newer, newer random niggas, that are popping up and chock full of pride, think they know something, but they don't know shit. Whether it be younger niggas or whether it be older dudes who refuse to to get the the word of the Lord correct. Because IUIC is an example of who knows the truth, but once again, he's chock full of pride, and he refuses to receive correction. And I'm just going to go into the account of Nathan correcting David, because the point that came to mind is how these guys are full of pride, and you have men that are greater than you had. Thought that come to mind is you had kings that were corrected by the prophets of the Lord, by the true prophets of the Lord. Nebuchadnezzar is another example of that. But you had prophets that came to kings and told them what they were doing wrong. And I'm just gonna this is gonna be a quick video, because this is really the only account that came to mind. Well, the whole Nebuchadnezzar, but we already know all about that. But I'm just gonna jump around here. And that's very interesting. Men who are greater than these, and think about that. A king, not only a king, but a warrior who would fold these niggas up 1,000,000 times over with little effort, with little to no effort, receive correction from the Heavenly Father's mouth, his men. Yet these little monkey rando niggas think themselves to know more than the prophets of the Lord. But they're really not. That's how they're not spiritual, because it's not about what the guy looks like. You even had that when the Lord had Samuel pick out David from among all of his brothers. It's not even about how the guy looks, because what did the Lord have David do? He gave him the skill in the world, to kill Goliath, which is a tall ass Hamite, with a stone. He one-shotted him. So that's how they're not, none of these niggas are spiritual. It's either they're assholes. So it's the 2 Samuel. I'm just going to go into, why you receive, the correction. 11 and 1. 2. And it came to pass, and in eventide, that David arose from off his bed and walked upon the roof of the king's house. From the roof, he saw a woman washing herself. The woman was very beautiful to look upon. David sent and inquired after a woman, and one said, "Is this not Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite?" David sent messengers and took her, and she came in unto him, and he lay with her, for she was purified from her uncleanness, and she returned to her house. So he committed adultery. And not only that, but I'm just going to, like I said, jumping down, he had Uriah sent to a battle that he couldn't win. And he ended up dying, because according to the law, if you if a woman is free from marriage if her husband dies, So, she's free to marry again. The woman conceived and said and told David, said, I'm a child. David sent to Joab, saying, send me Uriah the Hittite. Joab sent Uriah to David. When Uriah was come unto him, David demanded of him how Joab did, and how the people did, and how the war prospered. David said to Uriah, go down to the house and wash thy feet. Uriah departed out of the king's house, and there followed him a mess of meat from the king. Uriah slept at the door of the king's house with all the servants of his lord, and went not down to his house. When they had told David, saying, Uriah went not down to his house, David said, Uriah, camest thou not from thy journey? Why then didst thou not go into thine house? Uriah sent David the ark, and Israel and Judah abide in tents. My lord Joab and servants of my lord are kept in the open fields. Shall I then go into mine house, and eat, and drink, and lie with my wife, as thou livest, and as thy soul liveth? I will not do this thing. Just jumping down here, verse 15, and he wrote in the letter. 14, it came past in the morning, and David wrote a letter to Joab, and sent it by the hand of Uriah. And he wrote in the letter, saying, set ye Uriah in the forefront of the hottest battle, and retire ye from him, that he may be smitten and die. It came to pass, when Joab observed the city, he assigned Uriah to the place where he knew the valiant men were. The men of the city went out and fought with Joab, and there fell some of the people, the servants of David, and Uriah the Hittite died also. And Joab sent and told David all the things concerning the war, and charged messengers, saying, when thou hast made an end of telling the matters of the war unto the king, and if so be that the king's wrath arise, he say unto thee, wherefore approach ye so nigh to the city when ye did fight? Do ye not that they would shoot from the wall? So jump around here, because I'm going to try to make this quick, because it's ridiculous. It's I don't even want to say it's boring. These niggas are complete fucking retards. They're blatantly, openly going against the very same God that they say they believe in. Verse 26, when the wife of Uriah heard that Uriah, her husband, was dead, she mourned for her husband. When the morning was past, David sent fetched her to his house. She became his wife and bare him a son. But the thing that David had done displeased the Lord. The Lord said, and some of the other Apostle Har mentioned how the prophets are above kings. So the men that you see are above kings. The top men on the earth. Like what? Physically may be poor, but rich in spirit. And the Lord sent Nathan unto David, and he came unto him and said unto him, and not everybody is a prophet, hence, a lot of these little young upstart weirdo niggas who are doing what's that shit? Brotherhood over breakdowns, complete fucking nonsense. There were two men in one city. And that's really some nigga shit. Because the truth is the one who brought together the brotherhood in the first place, you fucking morons. There were two men in one city, the one rich and the other poor. The rich man had exceeding many flocks and herds, but the poor man had nothing, save one little ewe lamb, which he had brought and nourished up, and it grew together with him and with his children, and it did eat of his own meat and drank of his own cup, and lay in his bosom was unto him as a daughter. There came a traveler unto the rich man, and he spared to take of his own flock and of his own herd to dress for the wayfaring man that was coming to him. And Nathan was what? Give him a parable to show him what pretty much what he had did. Once again, the Lord used him to rebuke David, to dress for the wayfaring man that was come unto him, but took the poor man's lamb and dressed it for the man that was come to him. And David's anger was greatly kindled against the man, and said to Nathan, as the Lord liveth, the man that hath done these things, this thing shall surely die. And he shall restore the lamb fourfold, because he did this thing, because he had no pity. Nathan said to David, thou art the man. Thus said the Lord, power of Israel, I anointed thee king over Israel, and I delivered thee out of the hand of Saul. I gave thee the master's house and the master's wives into thy bosom, and I gave thee the house of Israel and of Judah. If that had been too little, I would moreover have given unto thee such and such things. Wherefore thou hast despised the commandment of the Lord to do evil in his sight. Thou hast killed Uriah the Hittite with the sword, and thou hast taken his wife to be thy wife, and hast slain him with the sword of the children of Ammon. Now therefore the sword shall never depart from thine house, because thou hast despised me, and taken the wife of Uriah the Hittite to be thy wife. Thus says the Lord power, behold, I raise up evil against thee out of thine own house. I will take thy wives before thine eyes, and give them to thy neighbor. You shall surely die with thy wives in the sight of this son. For thou didst it secretly, but thou do this thing before all Israel, before the sun. David said unto Nathan, I have sinned against the Lord. And Nathan said to David, Lord also hath put away thy sin, thou shalt not die. Howbeit, because by this deed, and he was humble enough to admit to his fault. Once again, the point I want to drive home is that one, you had a prophet, the prophets rebuked kings, and two, you had this king, a man who was greater than all of these little weirdo niggas, admit his fault. By receiving the words of the Lord, he admitted his fault. He wasn't, Nathan told David what the Lord had told him. Those are the words of the Heavenly Father, of the very same God that David believed in. And he accepted his wrongdoing. But you have these little monkey niggas that refuse to accept the men of the Lord. Ultimately, like what Yahushua said, if they don't receive, they don't receive you, they don't receive him. If they hate you, they hate Yahushua. If they hate Yahushua, they hate the Heavenly Father. And the brother mentioned how the Lord is gonna he's going, and one thing I would mention is how another thing is how physical, verbal rebuke is a billion times better than getting the physical rebuke. Because the Lord is always, he said he's been sending out his word. There's going to come a point where he sends out, that belt, and you don't want that. Everybody in the world can agree that getting a talking to, a tongue lashing, is better than getting a belt lash or getting your ass handed to you. And the prophets have been giving you the verbal rebuke. But the Lord, you don't want the Father to step down, because when he steps down, he's going to put he's going to put another hole in your ass. But he's going to put a hole in your skull, because the Lord rebukes by what? Physical pain. Not just a spanking. Well, I'll take that back, because there are times where you may stub your toe, but oftentimes it's when you think of rebuke from the Heavenly Father, you think of people fucking dying. That's what I'm getting at. Verse 11. I already read that. Verse 13. David said unto Nathan, the king said unto the prophet, I have sinned against the Lord. He acknowledged his wrongdoing. But you niggas are, all these weirdo niggas are too prideful to acknowledge that they're doing. And he, once again, there's an order right there. He didn't just say, what, fuck that, I'm going to keep doing whatever I want to do. No. He had to humble down. And the Lord's, what? That's adultery and murder. That's death twice over, but the Lord had mercy to not take his life. And David recognized that. And these niggas, we've all committed sins worthy of death many times over, but the Lord once again had mercy. And the true prophets of the Lord recognize that, and those that accept rebuke recognize that. But you got these little weirdo niggas that are too prideful for that. That's why, once again, the Lord has to kill them niggas. And the scripture, I think it's in Tobit, who said how their mouths must be stopped. In other words, how do you do that? You put a fucker to death. The Lord is going to do it. That's how you stop somebody from talking. But But that was pretty much it. Hope made sense. Hope was that fun. Like I said, the whole point was to show that you have men greater than these niggas, greater than all of us, that had and kings, mind you. Once again, a king. A king is not, you little niggas in the, these little weirdo niggas in the hood that's at the head of these, these camps and their little groups. They ain't no kings. They're just leaders of gangs. You got king, a leader of an entire nation. Not only that, but he actually proved himself to be king. He wasn't just given the position. He was a warrior. He did the work. Obviously, it was a predestination, but he still did the work. He was also a warrior who put bro. You watch the movie 300, man. A warrior who put niggas in the fucking. He gave them a negative 6 feet. He put them niggas 6 feet under, in the ground. I think jumping over a fucking wall. Men that are greater than all of us acknowledge and humble down and and acknowledge their sin. But you got these fuckers who are too prideful to do that, and that's why the Lord is going to kill all of them. And there's that parable how Shai mentioned how cast them into everlasting fire. I knew thee not. We have done all these things in your name, but he still didn't know you. That's another thing that should humble you down. Because ultimately, like, many are called, few are chosen. That's another thing. And those that are chosen, are those that are going to be, accepting rebuke and coming under leadership, proper leadership, because there's a hierarchy. And acting accordingly, not being an asshole. Because you do have guys that are like what's that word? Contrarians. I don't think contrarians, but you also have guys that have gone off and simply don't like the fact that JMS told them that they're going off and know that they're going off, but because they don't want to humble down, they don't want to say that JMS is right, they're going to continue to go off. Little stupid shit like that. But that's pretty much it. Hope is that fancy. All praises going on to Yahweh, Shema, Shabbat, Shabbat, the Ron's elders, apostle, teacher, great minister, by like choose Shalom to hope, like this instruction, battle on Great America.